So last night, I went to go watch James Gunn's Superman, and I have to say, I actually really like it, which surprised me because I'm not gonna lie, my expectations were kind of high. I really wanted this movie to be good, and I thought that this movie needed to be good, and it does exactly that. And so everybody's come to the internet, give their opinion on the movie, what they liked, what they don't like, and I'm here to do the exact same thing. Superman over the last few years may not have had the best representation, although to be fair, the CW show was actually really good. Up until last night, that was my favorite Superman. But I'm happy to say James Gunn's Superman is my new favorite, and I'm very happy to say that because I think James Gunn has a whole universe he's got planned out. He's already got movies, he's got shows that he wants to do. Really, really good starting point. You can tell that James Gunn actually wanted to make Superman. He actually cares about life, he cares about humanity, and it's very evident on screen. The entire time you watch him fight, he's always caring about the person next to him or the people under him. You'll see him save a squirrel, you'll see him save an old lady, you'll see him save a random dude on the street, you'll see him save a green baby. I like that Superman actually gives a shit about the people around him, unlike the Zack Snyder one, which I'm sure has been ripped apart by the internet more than a few times. So really like Superman a lot. David Cornsweet does a really good job as both Clark Kent and Superman. His voice was a bit deep and did take a little while to get used to for me because I'm kind of used to Clark being a nerd, putting his Lego hands together. Then we got the rest of the cast. They've got Lois Lane and Lex Luthor. Both were portrayed really well in this movie. I really like Lois and Superman's relationship. There's that scene where Lois Lane interviews Superman and Clark at the same time, and you kind of get to see her relationship with both of them. You get to see their relationship, still new, still them figuring it out, which is a lot of fun to watch on screen. Their relationship is very good. I liked Lois a lot in the movie. And then there was the big bad, Lex Luthor. I really like Nicholas Hoult as an actor, and I think he did a really good job. All of his lines were very good, and he actually has my favorite line in the movie where he threatens Superman that he'll kidnap Clark Kent, which is the irony of that is really funny. I also really liked how he's kind of the mastermind who pulls the strings. He doesn't really fight, which I guess is Lex Luthor's thing, but I know some iterations he gets like a big mech suit to fight Superman, but I like this version where he just kind of sits in the back the whole time, reads Superman's moves, and tells his goons what to do. Speaking of his goons, they've got the Engineer and Ultraman. I'm really surprised that they did Ultraman this early. I already thought this movie had a lot of villains. Goliath Monster, it's got Lex Luthor, it's got Ultraman. It makes it feel more like episodes than it does a collective movie. It does feel like a lot at the beginning of the movie, which kind of hurts it in that regard, but I think they did a good job of pulling it all together though. And then you've got the Justice Friends, the Justice League, quote unquote. They've got Mr. T, they've got Hawk Girl, and Guy Gardner, all of which I liked. I'll start with Mr. Terrific because growing up, I was a really big Arrow fan. Now, I didn't exactly hate Curtis in Arrow, but I thought he was kind of whatever. But in this movie, they did him really well. I love his fight scene. He probably has my favorite fight scene in this movie. I might as well mention that the fight scenes in this movie are super good. I feel like they got a really good direction on how Superman's meant to fight. At one point, he does a drop kick. But yeah, to go back to Mr. T, he's got that one sick ass fight scene on the beach that I really like. And then you've got Guy Gardner, which surprisingly, I don't know how they made Guy Gardner likable in this movie. His design is so goofy, his name is even goofier, but his lines are funny, his characterization's funnier, and he's actually like a really good character. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to throw him around a bit more, but I'll take it. Apparently, Mr. Terrific is getting a show, so we'll probably be seeing that sometime soon. And then there was Hawk Girl. To be fair, she didn't do much in the movie, but I'm sure that she'll get a lot more later on. Still nice characters, nice trio to have laying around in the movie. I'm a big fan of them. And I also like that kind of referred to themselves as the Justice Friends instead of the Justice League the whole movie. Not kind of solidifying anything yet, but leaving the groundwork for them. Another character I want to talk about is Superman's mom and dad, Ma and Pa. They're both all right, honestly. I'll be honest, I didn't really like them inside of the movie. I thought they were okay. Superman kind of has a nice scene with his dad, which was obviously intended to be like the emotional center point of their relationship. But if I'm being honest, it's all right. It's still better than the former Superman's dad who told him to let a bus full of kids die.
What was I supposed to do? Just let them die?
Maybe.
All these characters, really good spins on it. They've got Jimmy Olsen, who's just like a pussy magnet apparently, which I promise is essential to the story. The music is also really good in this. Every single scene's got its own theme. Every single character's got a very nice theme, and I really like Superman's theme. I also really like Lex Luthor's theme, which I'm not gonna play for copyright, but we all know there was one theme that kind of fooled the internet into thinking that a certain caped individual was gonna be a part of it, which I didn't believe for a second, and I didn't want to believe for a second, because I really want Batman and Superman decide to interact with each other somewhere down the line. I don't know how that'll happen because I think we've got the perfect Superman right now, and I think we've got the perfect Batman right now. So to see their worlds collide would literally be a dream come true, at least for me. Now, if I can go into my complaints a little bit, there was a few things that I didn't like. My biggest gripe, first of all, is that Superman's apparently a Viltrumite or a Saiyan now. That video was altered in a way that makes it so that Superman's parents told him to go to Earth and conquer the people. I found really weird. Maybe they'll do something with it later on. For now, it just comes off as a bit weird. Something else I didn't really like was Lex's motivation for not liking Superman. I get that I think they kind of go over it quickly when Superman's about to pummel his face into the ground during that final scene. During their final talk, he kind of glosses over it, mainly because he's just jealous of him. I guess is a fine reason, and they kind of don't care to explain it because Superman and Lex Luthor are supposed to be rivals. I think the movie kind of just assumes that you'll just coordinate the two with being good and bad. I don't necessarily need Luthor to have the craziest explanation for why he hates Superman, besides the one they kind of already gave us a little bit. But regardless, I'm still excited to see more what James Gunn has to offer. It's a very good start, a very, very good start for this franchise, and I cannot wait to see more. So I'm giving Superman 2025 a 9 out of 10. I really like this movie a lot. Those are my initial thoughts, and by the way, I'll see you guys in the next video.